Hey guys, welcome back in Bangla YT, and here is our another video of AI Master or Advanced AI. So last of video we set up that the army can go near of the enemy, he can find wherever he is and find the nearest enemy. Okay, now let's make something more good, like let's give them some weapon and let's try to set up some guns also. So for that, what will we do? Basically create a simple blueprint called actor.class and let's give it name then weapon uh bp. Then double click and open. Inside of that we need to we go in military silver pack, go to weapons, and from here you can pick any of weapon what you like. In my case I'm giving the assault rifle. Compile and save. Okay, now we need to come in our AI master, then go to AI army. Now at here in our AI army we need to simply drag and drop in his mesh. Okay, make sure that is connected to mesh so the bp can basically attach with our parent stock. So at here will be give basically the gun location. So let's search that gun. So at here there's a no gun position is available because we didn't set up any gun location. So now we need to create a gun location for this. So we'll be go to animation starter pack, third person, the UE4 manicured smash, and the skeleton. Instead of that skeleton will be go in a preview and let's search here. You can search any of animation. For example, I'm searching the ideal iron sight. So now just simply stop the animation and just search his hand. Okay, like hand, for now that is hand r, add a stock and let's give it this stock. Copy and come in your army and set up at here. Okay, so now we need to set up this stock in here. So before do that we need to right mouse, preview assets, and let's give it a assault rifle so we can basically preview that how it's looking and how we need to set up. So now we need to adjust this weapon in our hand. So you can also make the camera speed some lower so for better use. Now compile and save. So yeah, that's good enough. Now let's go to in our army. So as you can see our character is already set up that. Now compile and saved. Now with that bp we need to add a arrow. This arrow will be indicate that the spawn location of the bullet. Okay, because we want to also spawn the bullet, that's why. So a double r o w arrow, and once we add the arrow, now we need to connect it with the bp. So as you can see, because this is a bp, so we can't add basically the point. So what you need to do basically search the stock with the mesh that which is collecting with the basically the gun, and set the all the location and rotation to 0, so it will be automatically come in the actual location of the gun. And we need to just do some adjustment and it will be fixed. Okay, now let's rotate that and now just simply do some adjustment. It needs some z up and also some x minus, oh sorry, y minus. Okay, so the perfectly the arrow has been set up. Now compile and save. Now we have the arrow, so this will be indicate that where should be spawn the bullet or at which direction. Now we need basically the bullet. So for a spawning bullet system, first of all we need to create that bullet. So in my this template I already add the fpp. So in my fpp pack there's I have basically the first person bullet, so we'll simply duplicate that and drag and drop in our AI master. And once we do that, here we have now the projectile. Double click and open. we can change this name to AI bullet. Okay, we have the AI bullet. Now double click and open. We don't need any type of uh, impact location change, but we can give that simply if it hits by anything that's non-physics, so it should be destroyed by himself. Now go to the shaper, and now we need to select here our bullet. So because our military pack have some very good effects that basically the bullet, so we'll be drag and drop with our collision, and we can see that. Okay, that was nice. We can make it some more big, so let's set it the value to 2. Now compile and save. Also we'll be go to projectile and set our gravity to 0 because we don't need super fast, we don't need a drop system bullet. Now inside of that enemy, now we can, as you can see in our find nearest actor, there's a give a value that distance. So from the distance we can verify that if it's greater than equals than more than 500 meter closer, so it can be fire or it not should be fire. So from it here, what you can do, we can basically if and else that we can spawn actor from class, and then the location is basically our arrow. So get the arrow and get var transform. Make sure that if you change your arrow scale, like the scale, you need to make sure that you split with don't connect the transform with that, because it will be all, or it will be changing basically the bullet size. Compile and save. Okay, now let's try that how it's working. Play. So as you can see, he's super totally super close, that's why he's spawning. Okay, so let's give it that some value that 250. I'm not sure that are spawning or not, so I think I gave it some wrong. Get, it should be the greater than equals. I always become confused in greater than equals. So 250, if it's true, so it should be spawn. Yeah, it's now working. If it's let's give that some more far. So I also make our collision some more big, so we can basically test them. If he's super far from the enemy, he not should be fire. So unfortunately he's still firing, like, yeah, he's firing. So what you need to do basically, also I need here that basically a delay, that because I don't want that continuously shooting, so I'm adding a delay at 0.4 milliseconds. And let's give it that play. Yeah, it's pretty much enough cool right now. Let's give that 100. Let's see what happened. It's still shooting. Let's give it that 2000. So I need basically now his that how much is value. So I'm just get the tags. I want that to see that what is the basically going on in resistance. So get the tags and set tags. So by that we can basically understand that what is basically going on. So depending on situation we can basically spawn that. So the value should be distance, that how much. Compile and save. So now you can see in the text, let's see. So 2000, 1500, 900. So the closest value is 283. So if it's greater than, so it should be work that if it's greater than equals 250, or let's give it at 300, so he can fire basically. Okay, let's add with a false. Let's check. I'm not sure now why he stay here. Spawn, the distance, the detects. Let's remove that. And now why is not shooting him, I'm not sure. Even he is not going also. What the problem? Let's false this thing. Let's see if there's any problem. I'm not sure that why it's now not working. Rotate if it's working. Oh, sorry, we connected this thing with that. Oh, that was the problem. I'm so sorry. I just connected with this radius, that's why it's become fail. So 250, that is enough good. Let's set it with the false. Compile, saved, play. Okay, he's not firing. Okay, if it's an error of now the 300, then he should be fired. That's now working. That's what I want. So now I will increase that value to 1200. So let's click on play. So if he's now far from 1200, so he'll be shoot. What you can do basically, let's give some more far, because this is a FPP game, or this is a TTP game, so in it should be, you know, not super far from. So this is basically the location. All system has been done right now. So compile and save. So when he instead of 200, he start fire. So now we can add some muzzle flash with that gun. Okay, so let's add some muzzle flash. So for adding that muzzle flash, what you can do basically, we can use the get to transform. So here's a muzzle flash, we can basically get that and drag and drop. Once we drag and drop, we'll need to connect it with this thing and add manual attachment, and we can get that arrow while it's basically spawning. Compile and save. And now if I click on play, yep, so as you can see, that is basically the working. And I think because this is a FPP, or sorry, HTTP game, let's give it that some distance at 400, not super close and not super far, and we can make that in 2500. And let's set the duration to 0.2, that is more perfect, it will be more perfect. Compile and save, play. Yep, it's now more nice. And now we can add basically the sound system. So let's add basically that play sound 2D at location, and the location is that why is it basically get okay, why is it basically the arrow transform, so like that. And for the sounds will be at the hit, oh sorry, we need basically the sounds that firing. So we'll go in our rifle webs. We can use the webs that is more more nice. Okay, I think that was super nice. I'm adding this one. So yeah, that was nice. So I guess this is totally good. So as you can see, the problem is he's not seeing in his right position. As you can see, the weapon going some wrong position, so we need to fix some the weapon rotation. So kind of like in a Z. Now let's see. Yeah, the weapon is still in a wrong, so I guess the 90 is perfect. And also make the arrows like that. Save. Let's check. Yeah, pretty much enough seeing right now. Yep, it's quite enough right now. Good. And also now we need that if it's hit somewhere, if the bullet somewhere hit, okay, so the bullet should be basically uh destroy. So let's see that are the bullet destroy or not. So yeah, as you can see, the bullets become, if it's hit, so it should be destroy. So with that hit will be go in a bullet. If that's shown not bones, non-bones, I mean if it's true, so what will we do? If it's any hit, with that it will be do a sequence. We can remove that code all, and we can basically with that sequence we can basically that play sound 2D at location, that is basically the hit location, and we can get the hit location wise basically. And now we can go to military and go to sounds, then basically the rifle cubes, and we can give here the hit one. Okay, this one is great. So compile and save. Let's click on play. Yeah, that was pretty much super great. So that's all in this video. I hope you understand. Next video we also do the same system for our the AI. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this. Love you all. Bye bye. See you in next video.